The year is 1692. A cold wind howls through Salem. Darkness grips the village. Fear, like a disease, spreads from house to house. It begins with the children. Their cries pierce the night. The children speak of strange visions. They writhe in pain, contorted and twisted. Their eyes roll back, their limbs jerk violently. Something is terribly wrong. The villagers whisper of curses and dark magic. They look upon their neighbors with suspicion. Fear has a way of turning neighbor against neighbor. Trust evaporates like dew in the morning sun. The devil, they say, has come to Salem. The first to be afflicted is Abigail Williams, a young girl, barely a teenager. She screams and thrashes, her body racked with convulsions. Her cousin, Ann Putnam Jr., soon follows. Then, others. The children complain of being bitten and pinched. They see spectral shapes, grotesque and menacing. They speak in tongues, their words a jumbled mess. Their parents watch in horror, helpless to ease their suffering. Doctors are summoned, but their remedies fail. The children grow worse. The villagers are baffled. What evil has befallen their children? Where can they turn for answers? In their desperation, they turn to the supernatural. They turn to the whispers of witchcraft. Suspicion falls upon Tituba, a slave woman. She tells stories of her homeland, Barbados, stories filled with magic and spirits. The villagers, their minds already poisoned by fear, see her as a conduit to the devil. Two other women, Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, are also accused. They are social outcasts, easy targets for a community desperate for answers. The accusations fly like arrows in the dark, fueled by fear and paranoia. The children, caught in the grip of their affliction, become the star witnesses. They point fingers, their accusations echoing through the terrified village. The line between reality and delusion blurs. Salem is on the brink of madness. The accused are dragged before the magistrates. They are interrogated, pressured to confess. Some, broken by fear and despair, confess to crimes they did not commit. Others, defiant, maintain their innocence. The children, meanwhile, revel in their newfound power. They faint, scream, and contort their bodies on cue. They are the accusers, the victims, the center of attention. Their word is law. As the trials progress, the accusations grow bolder. Respected members of the community are implicated. The very fabric of Salem society begins to unravel. No one is safe. Section 5, The Trials, A Reign of Terror. The courtrooms transform into stages for a macabre performance. The children, their eyes wide with feigned terror, point accusing fingers. Spectral evidence, invisible to all but the accusers, is accepted as proof of guilt. The accused are subjected to humiliating examinations. Their bodies search for signs of the devil's mark. Their pleas for mercy fall on deaf ears. Fear has silenced reason. The trials become a witch hunt, a frenzied pursuit of scapegoats. The accused are condemned on the flimsiest of evidence. Their fate is sealed. The gallows await. Section 6. The gallows cast long shadows. One by one, the condemned are led to Gallows Hill. Their cries of innocence are lost in the wind. The noose tightens. Life is extinguished. 19 souls are lost to the madness. 19 innocent lives sacrificed on the altar of fear and superstition. The ground runs red with innocent blood. The children, their reign of terror finally over, retreat from the spotlight. Their fits and visions cease. The community, exhausted and burdened by guilt, begins to question the events of the past year. The nightmare, slowly, begins to fade. Section 7, Echoes of Hysteria. The Salem witch trials stand as a chilling reminder of the dangers of mass hysteria. They show how fear, once it takes root, can spread like wildfire, consuming all in its path. The events of 1692 serve as a cautionary tale, a warning from history. They remind us that we are all capable of succumbing to fear, of allowing our better judgment to be clouded by paranoia. The echoes of Salem's hysteria can still be felt today, in every instance of unfounded accusation, every case of mob mentality. They remind us to be vigilant, to question, to resist the urge to judge and condemn. We must never forget the lessons of Salem. The Salem witch trials also highlight the devastating consequences of false accusations. The children, whether driven by genuine delusion or a desire for attention, wielded immense power. Their accusations, however unfounded, had the power to destroy lives. They serve as a reminder that words have consequences, that even the most outlandish claims can have real-world repercussions. The weight of false witness is a heavy burden to bear. It is a burden that the accusers of Salem would carry for the rest of their days. Their story is a reminder to us all to speak truthfully, to weigh our words carefully, and to consider the potential impact of our actions. The Salem witch trials left an indelible mark on American history. They serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of religious extremism, of the persecution that can arise from intolerance and fear. These events, which took place in 1692, are a chilling example of how hysteria can grip a community and lead to devastating consequences. The events of 1692 also exposed the fragility of justice, the ease with which it can be manipulated and corrupted. Innocent people were accused, tried, and executed based on flimsy evidence and mass paranoia. The trials showed how quickly justice can be derailed when fear overrides reason. They highlight the importance of due process, of a fair and impartial judicial system. Without these safeguards, the innocent can suffer, and the guilty can go free. The Salem witch trials underscore the need for a legal system that is based on evidence and fairness, not on superstition and fear. The scars of Salem run deep. They remind us of the importance of critical thinking, of skepticism, of the need to question authority. These scars are not just physical but also psychological, affecting the collective memory of a community. They serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of groupthink and the importance of individual thought. They urge us to be vigilant in protecting the rights of all, regardless of their beliefs or social standing. The lessons from Salem teach us that we must stand up against injustice and protect the vulnerable. We must ensure that everyone is treated with dignity and respect. We must learn from the mistakes of the past to ensure that such atrocities never happen again. By remembering Salem, we commit to fostering a society that values justice, fairness, and human rights. Only then can we hope to prevent history from repeating itself. The Salem witch trials, though centuries removed from our time, continue to fascinate and horrify us. These events, deeply rooted in history, still resonate with us today, reminding us of the dark side of human nature and the consequences of mass hysteria. They tap into our primal fears, our anxieties about the unknown, our vulnerability to manipulation. The eerie atmosphere of a colonial village at dusk brings these emotions to the surface, making us question how far we have truly come from those times. The story of Salem is a timeless tale of fear and its consequences. It serves as a stark reminder of how fear can be weaponized, turning neighbor against neighbor and leading to devastating outcomes. It reminds us that fear is a powerful motivator, capable of driving us to commit acts of unimaginable cruelty. The reenactments of witch trials show how fear can strip away our humanity, pushing us to act in ways we never thought possible. It is a reminder that we are all susceptible to fear, that it can cloud our judgment and lead us down a dangerous path. The division within the Puritan community illustrates how fear can fracture even the strongest of bonds, creating an environment of suspicion and mistrust. The key is to recognize fear for what it is, to confront it, and to refuse to let it control us. By facing our fears head-on, we can begin to dismantle their power over us, reclaiming our ability to think and act rationally. We must not let fear dictate our actions or shape our world. Instead, we should strive to stand united against it, learning from the past to build a future where fear no longer holds sway over our lives. The Salem witch trials serve as a crucible, a test of human nature, revealing the depths of our souls. They reveal both the best and worst of humanity, our capacity for compassion and our potential for cruelty, our thirst for justice and our susceptibility to mob mentality. In the flickering shadows of history, we see reflections of our own society. The events of 1692 offer valuable lessons for our own time. They are not just stories from the past, but warnings and guides for the present and future. They remind us of the importance of tolerance, of critical thinking, of the need to protect the rights of the accused. In a world where accusations can spread like wildfire, these principles are more crucial than ever. They urge us to be wary of those who seek to divide us, to sow fear and discord. The echoes of Salem remind us that fear can be a powerful tool for manipulation. They remind us that we are stronger together, that we must stand up for what is right, even in the face of fear and adversity. Unity and courage are our shields against the darkness. The lessons of Salem are as relevant today as they were over 3 centuries ago. They speak to the timeless nature of human behavior and the constant need for vigilance. It is up to us to heed them. We bear the responsibility to learn from the past, to ensure that the mistakes of history are not repeated. The Crucible of Salem is a mirror reflecting our own potential for both greatness and failure.